Coming up on City Beat, this comfort quilt was sent to the city of Las Vegas following the October 1st shooting at the Route 91 concert. Hear the history of this handmade quilt and the reason why our Cultural Affairs Department is packing it up and sending it out. Then NDOT says the end is in sight for Project Neon, that is. The final phase for this billion-dollar project has been unveiled and labeled the main event. Find out how this final stretch will affect your commute. And our series on Code 3 Cooking with Fire continues. We take you to Las Vegas Fire and Rescue Station 7, where Italian food was on the menu and diets were thrown out the window. Hi, everybody, and welcome to City Beat. I'm your host, Nancy Byrne, and we are coming to you from the Mayor's Gallery at the historic 5th Street School, where they are celebrating the Chinese New Year, the Year of the Dog. We're going to take a closer look at this exhibit a little bit later on. But first, we want to talk about another piece of art, a handmade quilt that was sent to us after the October 1st shooting. The solemn purpose of this quilt is to provide comfort to communities that have suffered tragedies, either man-made or natural. We received it after October 1st, along with many other tokens of support, and we feel it's time for us to send it on to another grieving community. This is one package that's being handled with care. This handmade quilt did what it was supposed to do after the October 1st shooting at the Route 91 concert. It wrapped itself around our community, letting us know that love, support, and prayers are with us.
This is the comfort quilt, which was sent to us from Orlando. They received it because of what they went through with the Pulse nightclub shooting, and then they sent it along to us after the shooting at 1st of October.
Allie says we've had it for about 4 months, but the history of a comfort quilt actually goes back nearly 17 years.
So the comfort quilt actually originated with the terrorist attacks of 9/11 in New York City. There was a small school in Ohio that came together and created this quilt. It's 58 blocks, and they created this quilt and sent it to a school in Red Bank, New Jersey that had suffered quite a bit of loss on September 11th.
After 9/11, the original quilt passed through many communities hit by disaster. In 2005, it was sent to one of the communities in Mississippi hit by Hurricane Katrina. In 2006, Mississippi sent it to Nickel Mine, Pennsylvania, where 5 young children were killed in a school shooting. In 2007, it was carried to Blacksburg, Virginia, the site of the Virginia Tech shooting that took 32 lives. Eventually, it ended up at Newtown, Connecticut, the site of the Sandy Hook Elementary School shooting in 2012. 26 children and school staff members died in that rampage. It was there the quilt's voyage might have ended.
Somehow it got misplaced. So actually the community of Newtown, Connecticut came together to build a new quilt. And they built it as well as they could to what the original quilt looked like, but then they added some of their own flares to it. So you'll see on the quilt that there's some dates on it that are more current than 2011 when the original quilt was made. And since then, this quilt has been the same quilt that's been passed from city to city.
The version of the quilt you see here continued to travel the country, providing comfort to communities in need. We received it from Orlando after the Pulse nightclub shooting. And now Allie says we are sending it right back to Florida, this time to Parkland, the site of the Stoneman Douglas High School shooting.
Our staff here in Cultural Affairs emailed me and said, this is a pretty big deal. I think it's time to send the quilt along. And so we're updating the document that came with it that sort of tells the history of the quilt with our own little blurb at the bottom, and we'll be packaging it up and sending it to the high school in Parkland shortly.
Hopefully there will never be another need to send it anywhere after this.
Yes, I think that's what we all hope. Every city hopes that they're the last ones to receive the quilt.
While the quilt is no longer here in Las Vegas, photos of the quilt along with a document of its journey will be part of the Hearts for Vegas traveling exhibit. It's all the cards, letters, and banners we received from across the country after October 1st. It's going to travel from one city facility to another. Right now it's at the YMCA in Centennial Hills. Allie says it's going to be moved about every 8 weeks. Well, moving now to Comforting Our Veterans. A nonprofit group has opened its 3rd facility in downtown Las Vegas. An abandoned apartment complex has been turned into an assisted living center for veterans. It's going to serve about 88 veterans. Sue Levitt has that story.
And the home of the brave. Thank you very much.
Veterans Village Number 3 has officially opened its doors, the third housing complex in our city designed to assist veterans that need help.
I started Veterans Village in honor of my father, Seymour Stock, a United States Navy veteran, World War II, who I get to honor quite frequently because that was the catalyst that did this.
Arnold Stock is the founder of Veterans Village and responsible for housing hundreds of veterans in our city.
Oh, I think he's done great things. I mean, look at what he's done. I mean, he got this place built, Crisis Intervention Center, you know, to get people off of the streets. We got a pantry. Look at the pantry.
Eric Landman is just one of the many veterans housed here at Veterans Village Number 2.
Like right now, I'm stocking the shelves with tuna.
Eric volunteers regularly here in the pantry, set up to feed veterans that live here and also anyone in the community that needs food.
Well, it keeps me out of trouble. I do this every day. Like I said, I come in at 7, 8 o'clock in the morning. I leave around 2.
Eric's home here at Veterans Village Number 2, located on North 21st Street, is set up to house veterans permanently in apartments. And something new, these tiny houses built from repurposed shipping containers are now available to veterans to rent. The first Veterans Village here on Las Vegas Boulevard offers emergency and transitional housing. And now the third Veterans Village near 14th Street and Fremont is offering assisted living to those veterans that can't live on their own.
Honor, dignity, respect, and to provide a first-class concierge-style service with intensive supportive services is what you see in this 3-story building next to you.
The assisted living facility is equipped with a full kitchen and medical staff available around the clock. And Veterans Village is also reaching out to the UNLV School of Medicine and Touro University, hoping to bring medical students here to help with some of the clinical care.
Because we're a loving community and a caring community and an action community. Things have happened here that is so exciting.
From the front lines to the home front, we have support. And Arnie, you have given us that hope, that optimism.
And that hope and optimism is what keeps Eric going each day. He's thankful for the help he's received from Arnold Stock and Veterans Village and plans to give back as much as he can.
He can't do it by himself, you know. I volunteer in here and I spend a lot of hours in here.
It's very nice.
Everything is brand new. His love is the veterans and his love is the community.
For City Beat, I'm Sue Levitt.
Arnold Stock has plans to build 2 more facilities to house our veterans. His long-term goal is to make sure every veteran in our city has a home. We want to get you up to date on 2 ongoing stories, starting with Project Neon. Now, it may seem as though it's been going on forever, but they're actually more than halfway through this billion-dollar project. And on February 22nd, they unveiled the final phase they're calling the main event. They're calling it the main event not only because it's the final phase, but because it's going to have the most impact on our community.
When Project Neon began, Nevada Department of Transportation named the first phase Carnado, which basically told motorists, heads up, things are going to be mixed up a lot around the Spaghetti Bowl. Then there was Phase 2, the Big Squeeze, where motorists were reminded they were going to have to do some major, polite merging around the Spaghetti Bowl. And on February 22nd, the final phase was unveiled.
Welcome to the main event.
The final phase of Project Neon, the main event, is going to involve Interstate 15 restrictions between Sahara and Washington Avenues and 6 U.S. 95 weekend complete closures to allow for the construction of travel lanes, ramps, and 14 bridges. While this may sound like we've got a long road ahead of us, the project is on time and within budget.
We are roughly 60% complete with the project. Our contractor, Kiewit Infrastructure West, has earned roughly $350 million of a roughly $600 million contract. But we still have $250 million worth of work to get done and get built. So that's what you'll see in 2018.
What we will see in 2018 begins March 6th, with I-15 north and southbound lanes reduced to 3 lanes in each direction between Sahara and Washington for 250 days, with many other detours and diversions in the plans until the entire project wraps up in the summer of 2019. But take a look what the final project will look like for us. When it is complete, Project Neon will reduce travel delay by some 30%, improve air quality, and provide major motorist safety due to reduced merging and weaving.
We could try and list for you all of the dates that you can look for different construction projects for the next year and several months, but you would be better served going to their website. The website is n.projectneon.com, where you can also download a free app for your phone, and you can also follow them on all of their social media outlets such as Facebook, LinkedIn, and Twitter. Finally, you can always call the hotline at 702-293-NEON. That's 6366. Information is available in both English and Spanish. These guys are working 6 days a week, day and night, so please be patient and remember to look out for the safety of the men and the women that are out there building this major project for our community. Well, up to date on one more story, and that is the special election in Ward 5. Voters in Las Vegas Ward 5 will choose a new council member to represent them on March 27th. Early voting is scheduled for March 22nd and 23rd. 11 people are vying for the spot, and the winner will be sworn into office at the April 18th council meeting. We are going to take a short break, and when we come back, we're going to take you to one of our fire stations where they are firing up the stove and cooking Italian. Stay with us.
Congratulations to the City of Las Vegas Employee of the Month, Jennifer Winder. Jennifer is a senior inclusion recreation specialist whose core responsibilities include providing recreational programs to adults with developmental disabilities. These programs promote individuality, self-esteem, and independence. Among her many programs, she oversees Camp Cal, a week-long residential camp for adults with disabilities 22 and older. This experience provides respite for caregivers as well as allowing a vacation experience for those who attend. Recently, Jennifer has expanded her programming areas to include working with stroke survivors through the Valley Health System. Jennifer is often directly named in emails and letters from residents praising her cheerful attitude and endless patience, assisting people who otherwise might be forgotten. For her tireless work to make everyone feel a part of this wonderful community, we congratulate Jennifer Winder, our City of Las Vegas Employee of the Month.
Mom, can we get some ice cream? Please, Mom, please.
No, we're having dinner soon.
Please.
You don't have to be perfect to be a perfect parent. There are thousands of children in foster care who will take you just as you are.
In the small town of Elmira, New York, a boy was born into an all-American family. The odds of him opening his own clothing store at the age of 18? 1 in 138,000. Excited to be a part of pop culture, he packed for the big city. The odds of finding someone to invest in his vision? 1 in 4.5 million. The odds of him achieving his dream in the fashion industry? 1 in 23 million. The odds of having a child diagnosed with autism? 1 in 68. I am Tommy Hilfiger, and my family is affected by autism. Learn more at autismspeaks.org/signs. Early diagnosis can make a lifetime of difference.
Welcome back to City Beat from the Mayor's Gallery at the historic 5th Street School, where they are celebrating the Year of the Dog. We're going to take a closer look at some of this great artwork a little bit later on. But first, it's time for our news segment, Code 3, Cooking with Fire. This is where we take you to various Las Vegas fire and rescue stations across the city for some great recipes. Not many people realize this, but firefighters don't like to just eat. They like to eat well. And something else that is amazing, it seems like every station and every shift has someone who's really good at cooking. Right now, we're going to take you to Station 7, where the theme was Italian.
It's going to go in the oven for quite a while. I'm Steve Reinke. I'm a captain with Las Vegas Fire and Rescue. This is my firehouse. This is Fire Station 7 up in beautiful Summerlin. and tonight we're going to be cooking my famous lasagna. Both my cooks are off, so I have about 4 dishes, and this is number 1 on the list. It's the one that I get a lot of good feedback on. I'll get my fire truck apron on. This will make it official, right? We're gonna try and stay semi-healthy and just do some turkey burger and turkey sausage. Every station has a chow fund. Depending on how many people you have, it changes, but it's basically $30 for 2 days. Everybody chips in. Even if they're not in chow, they chip in so that we get some stuff. When I was at Station 10, the mayor came down and hang out with us one morning because she lived right behind us. She comes down and goes, "Well, I thought you had cooks." What? Not only do we not have cooks, you don't pay for our food either. That's why we always see you in the grocery store, because we're shopping there with our money on duty, and that's why you see us running to leave, because we're always getting calls while we're there. Cooking for a party of 6, plus we got some visitors tonight, I guess the councilman. I started cooking when I was like 7 years old. My parents split and my mom had a full-time job, and I had 2 sisters, and I just took to it. One day I remember as a young kid, I started cooking a cake, and next thing I know, I'm cooking my mom's dishes. I always cooked, but I always did lasagna, so kind of when you grow up in the firehouse, you just learn different ingredients, and this one worked. Once this is done and browned nice, because it is only turkey, and it's going to go in the oven for quite a while. So I'm just going to set it on the side and let it cool off. We'll get the noodles going, then we'll let them cool off, and then we'll start throwing stuff together. It's kind of a mess after that. Mozzarella, we're going to throw 2/3 of this huge bag. Cottage cheese, a little bit of shredded Parmesan, and a little ricotta for flavor. Throw in some Italian seasoning and mix it all up. And so we just kind of roll this into one big glob. Let that sit for a minute. Get our pans ready. Put our gloves on and start layering. And we're off. Even my grandkids eat this stuff, so it must be good. Because I got 2 grandkids that won't eat anything. What are the 2 rules about firehouse cooking? Hot and a lot. I told you already. Oh my gosh, hot and a lot. This is the secret ingredient. When you're working a 48-hour shift, you cook a lot on the first day, and that way there's always leftovers on the second day. So I should have kept these wet a little longer, and they wouldn't stick together, but they'll be fine. It's over the top of this, so we keep it nice and moist.
I've met a lot of the troops, but I'm trying to remember if I met her.
Okay, you'll meet her. She'll be by. Cook is not eating first, so somebody's got to step it up. You can eat in front of the councilman, I swear, Rob. Thank you. I'm gonna eat.
This is good stuff, right here.
It's a luxury too that the captain's going to cook. That doesn't happen every day either. So
that don't happen too often.
This is like hitting the lottery. Yay. Steve is excellent. Thank you.
If you would like the recipe for this luscious lasagna, go to kclv.tv and look for Code 3 Cooking with Fire. Thank you, Eric Sorensen and Sue Levitt, for that story. We're going to take another break, and when we come back, we're going to take a closer look at the Mayor's Cup International Soccer Showcase. Meet some of the people who make it possible and find out how it benefits our city.
A full life, measured in seats, starts with the right ones early on. Car crashes are a leading killer of children 1 to 13. Learn how to prevent deaths and injuries by using the right car seat for your child's age and size.
They say that when you're facing extreme danger, your life flashes before you. If you think that's sad, consider facing it before you even have enough life to flash before your eyes. Car crashes are a leading killer of children 1 to 13. Deaths and injuries can be prevented by using the right car seat. Visit safercar.gov/the-right-seat to know what is appropriate for each age and size.
I rescued Toast from a shelter in 2011. I love Toast because she's a lazy diva. Toast makes me laugh. When I walked into the shelter, I knew she was special.
Welcome back to City Beat from the Mayor's Gallery at the historic 5th Street School. From the Mayor's Gallery to the Mayor's Cup International Soccer Showcase. I know we say it every year, but every year it's true. It's bigger than ever. Over President's Day weekend, 430 male youth soccer teams descended upon our beautiful soccer parks. We caught up with some of the people who make this tournament possible and find out why it's so beneficial to our city.
Some of the best youth soccer players were kicking it right here in Las Vegas for the 11th annual Mayor's Cup International Soccer Showcase, now the largest international tournament in the country. It actually started out quite a bit more simple. Roger Tabor of the downtown Las Vegas Soccer Club says it was the brainchild of former Mayor Oscar Goodman and one of our great Parks and Rec staff members, Sherry Alexander. But the soccer club helped to build momentum.
After 3 or 4 years, we came with the idea when we were starting downtown soccer to be partners on this event and see if we can market it globally. So that's been the role we've been, is marketing it globally, tracking down partners, things that the city of Las Vegas couldn't do, but a charity could actually do. And so we've leveraged a lot of those relationships, and from that we have the largest international tournament in the country.
In fact, the event has grown by 10 to 15% each year since it began. And this year, they added even more teams from more countries.
We actually have 2 teams from Sweden for the first time, a team from Costa Rica for the first time, a team from Virgin Islands, 3 teams from Bolivia, 3 teams from Peru, first-time participants in Ecuador. So we've been in lots of countries, and we're trying to get a lot of breadth in different continents.
There are so many reasons for the success of this tournament, but one of the biggest contributors is community involvement. These 3 Las Vegans are among so many who host players coming from other countries. These guys do it through the Rotary Club.
And Roger asked us to host a team 12 years ago, and we said absolutely. So we host them in our homes. We find Rotarians and non-Rotarians. If it wasn't for hosting them in our homes, the kids could not afford to come here.
They say they get just as much out of hosting the players as the players get out of staying in their homes.
These kids are amazing. They're disciplined, and they're part of the national team in Germany. I wasn't a big soccer guy before hosting, and now because of this relationship with our Rotary Club and this team, we become fans.
And of course, there's the perk of being gifted a team uniform.
It's also fun too, if you look at what we're wearing their uniform. The kids bring that and give it
it to us, so it's a gift from the boys to us. So it's fun that we get to support them and wear their jerseys or kits, as they call them.
This dad traveled from Germany to see his son play, his first year here, and he hopes to keep returning.
Well, he loves it. It's a great experience. To be on the West Coast, he's been to New York many times, but the West Coast the first time. He's enjoying it.
Aside from providing some great soccer for us all to watch, the tournament has many far-reaching benefits. For one, all of these soccer players and parents, even those staying with host families, are still eating in our restaurants and enjoying our entertainment, having a $27 million impact on our economy. For the players, some 400 college coaches and scouts are here, making scholarships a real possibility for some of these teens. And finally, Tabor says you can't deny the social impact this has on our youth and their families.
Having kids from all over the world, experience Las Vegas, having our Las Vegas kids experience them, it does a lot for building bridges and creating global relationships.
We've had many kids that keep in touch with us through the years. There's actually 2 that we hosted years ago that are now playing for UNLV. We've had kids that have gone on to the Olympics, some of the professional teams. So it's just been an amazing experience for everybody.
Global friendships. Now that's a goal you can't argue with.
Well, we have to mention that this tournament has gotten so big, it's been separated into 2 weekends, one for the men, one for the women.
The weekend after President's Day, 237 youth female teams were here. The teams came from 19 foreign countries and 27 U.S. states to compete on our Valley fields at 7 different parks. The young women players are also before the eyes of coaches and recruiters from all over the country.
If you'd like the final results from the tournament, you can go to lvmayorscup.com. Well, as we have been saying, we are here in the Mayor's Gallery at the historic 5th Street School, where they are celebrating the Chinese New Year, the Year of the Dog. Let's take a closer look at some of this beautiful artwork from our local art community. This exhibit will be here through March 17th, but if you want to see it, you need to call the historic 5th Street School and make an appointment. The school is located at 401 South 4th Street. For information on this exhibit and everything art in our city, go to artslasvegas.org. Thank you so much for joining us, and we will see you for the next City Beat.